everybody. It's morning for me anyway, wherever you may be. Happy New Year. We're well into January and I've decided to start my vlogging again, but vlogging in a little bit of a different format this year. So I'm going to give you a little bit of life updates and stuff, but I'm also going to stretch myself quite a lot into confidence tips, leadership tips, a few of my favorites. So a little bit of a different format to usual, and not really about being organized as much as my past videos have been, but more about how I can coach you into being confident, fearless, leading woman, which is what my business is really all about. So if you haven't hit subscribe and that sounds pretty interesting to you, hit subscribe now, and yeah, you'll get all the updates as to when I post a new video. The plan is to put one up every 2 weeks so that it's not too intense. And if you like what I'm talking about, you can always head over to all my other social platforms. They're all under the Joyful Company. And yeah, I put up confident and leadership tips all the time. So yeah, let's head into Jan. January is a month for me about getting back on track. And I really wanted to focus this month on giving you guys content about how to get yourselves on track to set yourselves up for a fabulous year. We always start January, often people with New Year's resolutions, but I'm not into New Year's resolutions. I am into setting goals and dreams and desires, and I've got all these wants and things that I want to do and how I want to do them for the year. And to me, that's not about a new year. It can really start at 4:45 one afternoon. I always find it quite interesting that people need to start at the beginning of a day, beginning of a week, beginning of a month to do something new. Why don't you just start as soon as you think about it? So yes, so January is all around getting on track for a really fabulous year. And that's what this video is going to be all about. So I've given you 5 easy steps to get yourselves on track for a fabulous year. And we're going to go through each of those now. They cover things like journaling, morning routines, diary bookings, setting some goals, and then the last one I'll keep till the very end. Because that's actually the hardest one. So let's start at the very beginning. The first one is always about setting, what do you want? What are the goals that you have? What dreams do you have? What do you want to do, right? And I thought what I'd do is I'd give you mine for the year. I started following a lady called Mel Robbins last year. She's the lady who wrote the 5-Second Rule. It's a brilliant book. And she has set up a mindset reset challenge, a 35-day challenge. She started on the 1st of January. You can link into her stuff at any time. I will leave a link to that below for you, but you can start it at any time. You didn't have to start on the 1st of Jan, and it's free. And she set out looking for goals, 5 goals specifically. So what do you want to do around your, what were they now? Money, your body, your love, work, and self-worth. So I decided to do them based on that, and I'm going to give you mine. Yeah, I just thought it was a really nice structure to follow in terms of 5. Let's start with love. In terms of love, I want to open up more this year, especially with my husband. I am such an independent person, and I often don't talk enough. I just do things. I get on with it. I don't ask for help, and I want to talk to him more. Not necessarily just asking for help, which I should do, but just talking to him about things and not just getting on with it and doing it myself. And then the other part of the love is I really want to make real time for people that count to me. Your life tends to get runs away with you when you start getting into the swing of things, and before you know it, you're into Easter, and then it's winter for us because that's in July, and then it's Christmas again. But I want to make real time for the people that count, and that's going to be my 2 love goals for this year. From a work point of view, I obviously want to grow the Joyful Company. That's a bit of an obvious one, and it will always be one. But I want, this year from a work point of view, I want to trust in the process and let go of the timeline. So know that I've set everything up. I'm doing what I should be doing. Everything is going to come into play when it is meant to. Trusting that the timeline is set and it's happening and the momentum is started, and just trust that it's going to pick up. So that's a big one for me. I'm a control freak, so it's difficult for me to do that, but that's my work goal specifically for this year. Then into money. Money is, everybody feels the same. I want to build my wealth and I want to build abundance. I like having stuff. I don't ever like running out of anything, and abundance, that really is what abundance is, right? So I want to feel safe in abundance. From my body point of view, I want a lean and a trim body. Now, I know I work very hard at this already. I train every single day during the week, but I want to make sure I really stick to it. And the trick is actually eating correctly. Training is important, but it's what goes into your mouth that's more important. And I want to be strict about it to get to the point that I'm happy with, and then I will ease up on myself a bit. And so that means no cheating, except for when I have my cheat meal, because I do strongly believe in doing that once a week. But I don't want to cheat in between. So that's going to be my body goal, is the lean and trim. I have a goal weight in mind, and that's what I'm going to work to. And then the last one that she put down was self-worth. And I just, this is why I actually did the whole mindset reset of Mel Robbins, because she had mentioned this as a goal. For me, this is something that I work with my clients all the time. Self-worth is the most powerful thing to build in ourselves. So I want to do more of what I love to do, and that means that I need to build my belief in myself, specifically in me and who I am, but also in my abilities. And that is going to be my big focus this year. Believing in me, believing in my abilities. So those are my goals for this year, broken down into those 5 areas. And yeah, I'm going to really keep track of them and keep going back to them and monitoring and keeping myself on track for it throughout the year, not just in January. Okay, that was step 1, right? So step 2 is journaling that I mentioned. Now, journaling is something I believe in. I mean, apart from the fact that I'm a moleskin freak, I believe in gratitude journaling. So every single morning, I fill out 3 things that I'm grateful for. So here's my little gratitude journal from last year, 2018, and I literally put in 3 things every day. I open it up as part of my morning routine, which we'll get to just now, and I jot in 3 things that I'm grateful for. I really believe that if you set out the day being grateful for things and starting there, you set yourself in a good mood. You can't be angry and miserable and upset and what have you when you're feeling grateful for people in your life or things or something that happened. I mean, it can be anything. There are days where it's very serious and specific to a person, but there are also days where I'm just really glad I had lunch with sushi lunch, because I love sushi and I don't get it very often. So it can be as simple as that, but it's important to be grateful, right? So here is my 2019 journal now, which obviously I started on the 1st. I'm well into it. I'm going to set out to do this morning's very soon. So what I would suggest you do is get yourself a little journal, and I literally use these moleskin pocket-sized journals because you don't need more than that. I literally just finished all the pages in it in 1 year. So they're perfect size. They pop into my diary and I keep them there. So if I don't get to it within my morning routine, I make sure I get to it during the day because it's in my diary and I'm always opening that. But it's just a beautiful place to start every day. So I challenge you to do that. Step 3. Step 3 is about morning routines. And weirdly enough, I have seen a couple of clients this year already, and all of them have spoken about, I need to get a morning routine going. They want to wake up earlier, they want to be doing certain things, they want some quiet time for themselves. And that's where, for me, a morning routine is exceptionally key. Now, if you're not really sure where to start, there are various ones online, but there is also The Morning Miracle by Hal Elrod, and it's a book, and he sets out his morning routine, which is done, it's called SAVERS as an acronym. Silence, affirmations, visualization, exercise, reading, and scribing is what makes up SAVERS. And it's just a really great place to start if you're not sure where to start. And he really encourages you to, once you've got it going, make it work for you. And his routine can be either a 2-minute process for each of the letters or a 20-minute process for each. It's completely up to you, and it needs to work for you. Now, that's just one of the ways to do it. I have my own kind of morning routine, and after having read his book, I also saw that mine was actually quite similar, but slightly different and in a different order, which I don't think is a bad thing or anything wrong with that. So I get up pretty early in the morning, and I get dressed, literally brush my teeth, and out I go to gym. On the way to gym, I spend quiet time thinking about my day and wondering plotting what I want to achieve for the day, and really thinking that all through. And while I'm doing that, I drink some really good hot water, lemon and Himalayan salt, which I think is good for your digestion. So I drink that on the way to gym. Once I get to gym, I'm doing my exercise, but at the same time I'm listening to my books on Audible, or I watch a YouTube video for inspiration, or I get my motivation and inspiration in that time. I then head home to the Munchkins and to eat, I get ready for work, and then I do my gratitude journaling. And that's my morning routine. And weirdly enough, on the holidays now just gone past, I didn't follow that very strictly, but I found that I was still doing a large part of it in the morning, and it's become a lifestyle for me now. And yeah, I love it. I wouldn't start my day in any other way. Step 4 is about your diary and planning. Planning is so important. If you can plan your life and sort your crap out, it sets you going. When you're disorganized, you never really get to anything. Now, planning is key in your diary, and I use my diary to really block off certain time. But planning can be done in so many ways. So you could set out that you're only going to check your emails 3 or 4 times a day. Not every single time you hear a little beep on your inbox that one's arrived. It's completely unproductive to be going back and forth between your inbox and what you were doing. It just doesn't make sense. Organizing is also about getting all your chores done at the same time. So if you know you've got a whole lot of chores to do in one shopping center, make a whole lot of little lists of where you need to go and what you need to get, and get everything done at once. So you're not going back to the shopping center every day for something. That's a waste of time, a waste of petrol, a waste of money, everything. So that's another little planning and organizing tip to follow. I mean, obviously you need to make time for your work, but I also believe you need to make some serious you time, and booking that into your diary and being vigilant about keeping it. It's important to look after yourself, and it's not about being selfish, it's about looking after yourself. And then you always can see where the time is for work, right? And then really important to me, which I mentioned at the beginning, is that I want to make time to check in on my goals and my dreams and what I'm doing and where I'm at, and tracking myself. How am I going to achieve the things that I want, and where am I going with all of it? So those are some things that I do with my diary. Not everything, I'm a little bit obsessed with my diary, but those are just a few tips for you on an organizing level. And the reason for me that planning is so very important is that when you're planning, you are organized. When you're organized, you start to get things done. When you start to get things done, you're achieving some things. When you start to achieve a few things, you achieve more and more and more, and that's when your goals start to come together. So that's why planning for me is 100%. It has to be 100% of your focus. You've got to get your shit together. And then step 5, the one that I hid from everybody and said was the hardest, is that you have to stick to the plan. Once you've got all of this together, stick to your morning routine, stick to your organized tips, stick to everything that you're wanting for yourself. You've got to stick to the plan, because otherwise you won't get anywhere. You won't achieve anything, your goals won't be achievable, and you'll just start to mission through life and work towards your holiday at the end of the year again. And that's just sad to me. But once you're doing it, I promise you, it does start to reap the benefits of it, and that's the momentum that you need. And once you have the momentum, you will keep going. Okay, so now to the last part of the video, which is my 2 favorites. So in the holiday season and into the first 2 weeks of the year, One of my favorites is my Swell bottles. Now, don't laugh, I know I have 3, can't possibly drink from all 3 of them, but these bottles are amazing. I have linked them below for you in case you want to go and check them out. But you get such beautiful designs and really plain ones. But these bottles keep something cold or hot for 12 hours. So this is what I put my hot water, lemon and Himalayan salt into. I make it the night before so that by the time I'm drinking it on my way to gym the next morning, it's still very warm, but it's not piping hot that I can't swallow it. And I just love them. They are beautiful and they're well worth the investment. And my second favorite that I wanted to share with you guys is a skin serum. I get it at Metropolitan Cosmetics in Hyde Park, and here are my 3, which let me see if I can show them to the camera a bit closer. Can you see that? So they are called Apot.Care, and they come, so obviously they're these 3 colors, which are the blues and purples, but there is one for every color in the rainbow, and they help you there to pick which ones you need for your skin. And I put it on before I moisturize in the morning, and they have literally been a game changer on my skin. They have changed the look, the feel, the elasticity, the moisture, everything. They have been incredible. And I started out, when I first did it, I had these 3 colors, the blues, and then I went with 4 colors, and I did more yellowy green combination, and then I went back to these because these 3 were my game changer. And I'm not going to go through what they are because I'm not a beautician and I don't claim to understand that stuff, but they're fantastic. I will link them below for you as well so that you can go and check them out. And actually you'll see that they're pretty reasonably priced. So that's me for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. At least I know that the content was nice. If you haven't hit subscribe now, and you'll get a little notification when I post a new video. And yeah, I hope some of that helped you. So hopefully you enjoy it. But if you have comments, if you've got something to share with me, if you've got questions, please put it into the comments below and I'll get back to all of you, I promise. But otherwise, have a really great day. Good luck with January and your goals and getting through January, because it's also always a long month from a salary point of view. But yeah, enjoy your day, and here's to building confident, fearless leading women this year.